Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. So coming back again with golden oldies. This one is the Forever Fabulous, which is the sort of glamorous sort of grannies, if you like. You've got this lovely little old lady there with her cup of tea saying Forever Fabulous. You've got this one that looks a bit like my mum with her birthday cake. You've got this Beach Babe one in her rubber ring. I think the Americans call them floaties, do you? I think that's what I've gathered from a Spellbinders kit a little while ago. And then you've got this lovely lady with her massive glasses on her little mobility scooter. Just need to be careful not to lose that one. So the two inserts, because I've got the ultimate kit, so you get 3 of each style. So you've got this lady again with her sort of confetti there. You've got the granny on her little bike with her flowers and the flower border. And then the foil cardstock, it is this one with the birthday cake with the confetti in gold. Beautiful. And then the printed is the lady on her scooter. So I need to put that one to the top because I'm going to be using that. And I want those on the top as well. So let's pop those on the bottom. Okay, let's pop these to the side. So I haven't had chance to work on my project card yet, but I am going to do a card today that I haven't made before. I'm still going to do that project. I'm hoping to bring that next video, like I said yesterday. So for this card, we're going to make a teepee card. So it's like a 3-dimensional one. So I'm going to need 2 of these 6x12s. If you're using A4 cardstock, I don't know, I think you probably need 3 sheets. But I'm just going to cut 3 6x6 squares. So that should already be 6x6. I'm just going to check this one because the last one was just a little bit long. There we go, so 6x6, and then we need one more. And let's come out this one. I was wondering why it wasn't flush. So, and then you've got a spare piece to go in for when you need a little piece of white card. Now, because I've only got the small scoreboard, I'm going to do my scoring on my trimmer. And what I'm going to do, actually, let me just swap that piece over. Was it that one? What's that one? It's just this one's got a little bend on the corner, so this one hasn't. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this in and I'm going to score diagonally down the middle, and I'm going to do that on all 3. And this is one of those cards that looks really amazing when it's made up, but is pretty simple to make. Okay, so again, and then last one. Like I say, if you've got the big scoreboard, you will be able to do this, but mine is just that slightly shorter one across. I think it's 9 inches, so it's a little bit harder on mine, even with my little black line down the centre. Okay, let's put that out of the way for a second while we assemble this. So what I'm going to do is just come in and burnish those down. Doesn't matter which way you go, just whichever way you want your cardstock to be. Okay, and then pick up one of them. Okay, and you're going to pop it down like so, so it's like a diamond. I think I'm going to use a little bit of my tape and my Clout construction glue. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stick one of these to each side. So notice on this edge we've got this diagonal line going down, so we're going to stick them on, match that line up so that that goes along that curve. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just pop a couple of dots on there, and I'm just going to work out where that end comes to. So the bottom is down there, so all of this other bit here I can pop in some construction glue, especially on those corners. And then I can come in, it's just going to give me that little bit of wiggle room time, and pop that down. Okay, and then for this other piece, exactly the same. You're going to follow that line down, and this piece is going to go into the middle of there. So again, I'm going to pop this here. The reason I'm just putting this here is just to hold it while it's gluing. So as you know, this construction glue, if you've watched any of my videos before, you'll know this construction glue can take a little bit of time just to keep things in place. So if I put that there, those dots there, you can use the tacky glue, but there again you still got that bit more wiggle room time. With the dots it's almost instant. Okay, so now when I fold this together like so, when I pop that and line that up, you can see I've got my little teepee card, and that's just 3 pieces of 6 by 6. Okay, so that is just going to pop another little piece of glue. Let's use this tacky glue because it's got a finer nib. So I'm just going to pop some of that under that corner at the top, and if I use my tweezers, they will hold that in place while we work on some of the layers. Okay, so because we are going to be cutting triangles, I'm going to be doing slightly different layers on this. I am going to be doing a mirror layer and my normal cardstock layer, but I'm going to do them just slightly smaller. Okay, so obviously it's got 3 sides, so we need 3 pieces of the gold. So instead of cutting that at 2 notches under the 6, I'm going to come in at 3 notches under the 6. And then I'm going to cut that straight down the middle, and I'm just going to check this. I think it should be right, but I don't want to go on and do the other piece if it's not. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so then again with this one, 3 notches under the 6 and 3 notches under the 6, and again I'm going to cut that down the middle. Now ideally you'd want to make 2 of these at a time if you wanted to use up the spare piece, but you can always keep that in your bit box for another time. So for this piece here, what I'm going to do is cut that down to so another 3 notches. So we are going on 1, 2, 3. So I think we're 2 notches above the 5.5. Yes, we are. And then just to make it easy on myself, I'm going to try and cut out as much of this border as I can. We might have a little bit in, but it's not going to be very much at all. And then again, that's going to be cut straight down the middle. I need both of those. I'm just going to check that they fit on there quite nicely. They should do. Yeah, perfect. Then I'm going to swap trimmers. And I did previously cut my insert, but I did that at 5 3/4. So what I'm going to do is just take 1 notch off 2 of the sides there, and that should bring it to where we are. It should be about the same as this now. Let's just double check that. Yep. Okay. So now we can do some assembling and then some decorating. So let's pop these out of the way. Now, have you stuck down quite nicely? Yes, you have. Now I'm going to be assembling this with a little bit of ribbon. I have got my crocodile down here, and when I've put all my layers on, I'm going to punch a hole in. If you don't want to do it with ribbon, what you can use is you can get like the little Velcro dots, or you can use a magnet and hide it under your layers if you want to. But like I say, I'm going to do it with some ribbon this time. Okay, so one of the sides really we don't need to decorate because that's going to be hidden underneath. Okay, so I'm going to choose this one as my front side. So let's go ahead and layer this up. So I've got some tacky glue in the corners. Quite important to have something in the corners on these triangle type cards because sometimes they have a tendency to lift a little bit there. Now I'm just going to put that on, and then I'm just going to double check it just to make sure I've not gone wrong. And that's more about me just trying to be confident about what I'm creating. And then this one is going to go on the top. Now I am going to use tacky glue, which will take a little bit of time to sort of go off and set. So there is a possibility that it may move a little bit, but I'm hoping that it's not going to upset my project this time. Okay, so that's going to be our first one. So you can see that's already looking pretty nice. So the next one I'm going to do is this one here. So again, just coming around with my layers. And this is a sort of card you really would give in person, I think. You possibly have to make a box for it, or you could give it in a gift bag. But it's I don't think it's something I would risk posting unless it was in a box with lots of other things that are going to be safe, you know. Okay, so again, just carrying on with that design. Ensure those are nicely. So now we've got our two. So our last one is going to be this one here, and this one is the one that I'm putting the insert on. That way I feel you can still write on it as a card, or you can decorate it if you want to keep it as a decorative piece and have the writing on the inside. The other option is to use some of the papers from the I'm always going to call it powder puff, but it's not, it's picture perfect pad that comes with this one if you get the ultimate. There are a lot of nice papers in there. Because this is paper, I'm not going to use my tacky glue on those corners. I'm going to use my dots, just simply because of that water content on that glue can cause me a few issues sometimes. And it's just about picking which way you want that, because it's got that little confetti border on there. I thought that piece might be the best way for that to go. Come on, up you come. Need to move over just a tiny bit. That's it. Give that a good smush down, because obviously people are going to write on that. So when it's finished, those are your 3 decorated sides. If you want to do decorating these, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave them plain, just because I kind of like that look. Or shall I decorate them? What shall I decorate them with? I could go in with these, I suppose. Okay, I'll decorate them. I was going to say they are a 2.5 inch square. Let me bring up my crocodile. Sorry, creaky chair, creaky bones. And you can see it's a big one, Big Daddy. I did have a smaller one, but I did get rid of it. So I want the small hole. I don't use it very often, I have to be honest, but I don't think I could ever get rid of it. Okay, so this is my front panel with this purple one, and this one is quite easy because what I'm going to do is just make sure that my hole is pretty much in the centre. And then if I grab my pencil, what I can do is bring that over, and then just pop a little hole on there. And then I'm going to keep that folded up because I want that to go through both layers. So there's 4 pieces of cardstock. It's gone all the way through. It's there. And then when we thread that through, we'll tie a bow on that corner, and that's going to keep that all together. Okay, so let's do these little corners. So there's only 2 to do, so 2 halves. So let's bring in the trimmer. So I said it was 2.5. Let's grab a piece of gold. Here we go. So 2.5. So I'm going to take 3 notches off that, like I did for these bits on here. So 2.5 minus 3 notches. 2.5 minus 3 notches. I can go back in the box for now. And then again, we're just going to pop that straight down the middle. Actually, I might need 3 of these because there should be 3 legs. So let's just check that those are going to fit quite nicely. Yeah, I think they are. So let me grab that bit back out again. There we go. So 2.5 minus 3 notches. 2.5 minus 3 notches. Actually, I'll put that in there because that might come in handy for some die cutting. And then straight down the middle, we've got our 3 legs. Oh, I can go in the bin. So the reason why I've done the 3, so we've got 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Now hopefully we can get it out of this yellow. So 2.5 minus 3 notches, and then I'm going to go another 3 notches. So that takes me to 2 inches plus 2 notches. So 2 plus 2. And then I'm going to pop that, which is going to be best going that way or that way. I think it's really going to make a lot of difference. We're going to have, it would be better if you've just got one solid pattern on there, but we will use these pieces up rather than have them go to waste. So 2 plus 2 notches. And then 2 plus 2 notches, and then we'll go down the middle. So quite a lot of decoration to this one. I'll put the 2 there in case I swap them out. But it is a very effective card. Little mat's gone on a wobble. Let's bring that back down. Okay, so let's do this one first of all because it's going to be an easy one. So thinking probably that one and that one for there, and then we'll have one of these different ones over there. Let's pop these on. So again, all purpose, tacky. And this is a great card to do, like I say, with paper. So if you've got any of those Crafters Companion papers, or if you've got any of the Hunkydory pattern packs, that would be great for these. Obviously pick a pattern that's not sort of like this where you've got a bit with a border on. You really want something a bit more you know, like that, where it doesn't matter which way you cut, it's always going to be good. but we can make do with this. It's still gonna look good. A little bit of glue in those corners. And pop that one onto there. Let's just see what that looks like. That one looked better there. No, that's going to be the same, so that's fine. So let's see. Which is that one going to be? That way. Okay, we'll just carry on round. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be a different look on each side. It's not like anything's particularly upside down as such. So for this last one, what I'm going to do, they're both the same, aren't they? Yeah. So I'm going to glue this one onto its gold mat first of all. There we go. And then, oops, that one's fallen off. Why have you fallen off? Did I not give you long enough? Give you a good press down. You can have a little settle in a minute while I get the topper and things ready. So if you just hold on. Right, you are poking up as well. Let's stop that. Okay, so I'm going to get the glue ready on this one. And I think what I'll do is put some of these glue dots on. Should put them on first, just so that it's not going to pop off. And then if I bring that to where we are assembling it, then I know I'm going to be sort of in the right place. Oops. Okay, so now that's what we are looking at decorated. Okay, obviously we've got our insert here. Like I say, if you want to go ahead and pop some of the papers from the pad on, you know, you've got options. That's what I'm saying. Okay, let's bring in the toppers. So I was hoping I could get a frame on, but I think it's going to look too big with this frame, so I think we're probably just going to end up going with this little lady having a cup of tea. That's not too bad. Obviously I've not got on the right one. Okay, we'll go with our lady with a cup of tea then, with her happy birthday. We've got a sentiment that says, you know, you're getting older when the candles cost more than the cake. And then what I'm also going to do is just have a look through that book, that Picture Perfect book, and see if there's any little pieces that I can use to decorate the other side. Maybe something on the insert side as well. You can always go in with your peel offs, that sort of thing, if you want to. Let's get rid of that. And as usual, there's going to be a little bit of pokey uppy bits, so let's just get rid of those. That one. There. Okay, so if I bring the pad in, so if I was going to use the little lady having her cup of tea, and I guess really I could swap her out for there and then use the one I was going to. That's if I haven't lost her. So we could pop her in there, and then I was going to use these little ones here, cut those out, because you've got your terrific And then you've got a little old lady making herself a cup of tea. Obviously, if you wanted to cut any of these people out, you could pop them on as well. Let me grab my guillotine. We can do that while that little bit of glue goes off as well, so that gives that chance to set. So we're going to change the sentiments, since we're not using the one with the birthday. I think it's just birthday wishes, although you've got Forever Fabulous on there as well. There, we got that. Right, so guillotine, and I'm just gonna pop this in, line it up, just come down. Could take all of that off actually. I'm sure we're going to use Little Miss Baker. Put that on there. And I'm using the guillotine just because this is paper and it just tends to cut a sort of neater cut on the guillotine than on the trimmer. So we've got these two, and they are just about 2 inches. Actually, just got a little bit of a blue edge on that one. Don't know if I'm risking it for a biscuit to try and get rid of it. But okay, so they're 2 inches, so we need 2 little mats that are 2 inches plus 2. Oh, that's silver. Oh, I can see a big piece there. There we go. So 2. Actually, I'm going to do this on the bigger trimmer because it's just easier to see the smaller bits, and it's cardstock, so it's going to cut better anyway. So 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2. So let's see what you look like. Yep. Can you hear the birds tweeting outside? So 2 plus 2. Have we got 2 plus 2 that way? Not quite. So let's grab another piece, and this is why I keep those bits there. Perfect for die cutting, or if you've got any smaller bits like this that you just want to frame. Okay, and there's no reason why, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and just pop, you know, a different one on each corner if you wanted to really, you know, really make a special card out of it. You know what I'm like. I like to try and get as much out of the kit as I can. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is grab myself some ribbon, and we've got some pink, so let's grab some pink ribbon. I've got this one here. This is Coral Rose, one of my newer ones from AliExpress, and it's quite a strong ribbon, so I'm going to take more than I need for sure. And what I'm going to do, and because this is quite a strong ribbon, it's going to thread through here quite nicely, and this is 3mm. I just find that on these 6-inch 6-inch cards, it can look really nice. So what I'm going to do is just bring that around. I'm going to tie that in a bow, and it's just going to help me place things, and then I'll tidy this bow up at the end. But I am going to leave this as quite a long bow in case, you know, you want to write something on the inside. If I want to write something on the inside, I can. And then, you know, if you know what it's like, if you get something like this, the first thing you're going to do is undo that ribbon and nosy inside, because that's what I would do. Okay. So now we are going to pop our frame on, and because I've stood it up, what I am going to do, sorry, it's just these little pips, and this keeps moving, which is annoying me. I can see it when I turn it around, but you can't see them so much on the other side. So yeah, I think we're going to go with that. So if I just put a little mark there, now I can put a foam pad there, and anywhere in between those. Okay, so the camera just cut a little bit out, but I've literally just put the foam pads on and then took the backs off while I was seeing where it had cut out from. So I just marked it there, and then I just put the foam pads, 1mm foam pads in between those marks. What I did say was, when I noticed it had gone off, if you make yourself up like a template beforehand with just the pieces, what you can do is sort of use that to gauge whether you've got them in the right place or not. It is difficult with it being a slightly different shape when it's upright, to sort of make sure that your toppers are straight. I probably would advise, unless you've made quite a few of them and you really know what you're doing and where it's supposed to be, putting the topper on when it's made up so that you can see that you've got that in the right place. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this in the centre there, like so. So that's where we're at. Sorry, there's a bit of glare from the lights. And then for our piece here, we can pretty much go everywhere except for those little corners. And again, I'm just going to use these 1mm pads. So I'm just going to pop 1, 2, pop that one there. So I just like to use all these little bits up as well, especially if I've been cutting it into them. So that should be fine. So now I've got that piece on there, what I can do, if it wants to undo, take that one out. I can now bring in that piece there, just to make sure I get this in the right place. So I'm not sure why my camera cut out there before. So obviously just need to keep an eye on it in case it decides to do it again. Sometimes it has one of those days, don't we all? I've been up since like 6 o'clock this morning because our washing machine broke a week ago, and we ordered a new one from Argos, and it was supposed to be delivered within 5 working days. And then, you know, day 4, I let them know we hadn't heard anything. They're like, oh yeah, they're going to contact you within 24 hours. So not heard nothing. And I'm just going to mat and layer these while I'm yakking about this washing machine saga. Yeah, so I rang them. I'll tell you, the customer service for Argos is terrible. Like, it's really hard to get to speak to someone, and then when you get to speak to someone, they just like really fob you off. Anyway, in the end, so Sunday, I was speaking with the guy again, and they still, you know, they were just saying the same thing. Basically, we'll get them to ring you. I said, no, we'll cancel it. I'll go elsewhere. And I went on AO, which is a company here in the UK, and they were saying if I want to pay an extra tenner, I could have it next day. Obviously because it's paper, I'm using the dots in the corner. So I did that, and that was probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. So we did it. So we said, yeah, we'll pay an extra tenner. They'll come in, disconnect, connect, take away the old one. So less for us to do. And I had an email about an hour later saying that we were first 3 on the list for delivery, so it was going to be between 7 and 9. I had a phone call at 8 o'clock from the guy saying we're going to be here in 10 minutes. He was an Asian fella, so I thought, well, I can't leave Henry in his cage in there because he does bark a lot, so I took him up in the bedroom because when we have any delivery drivers that are Asian, they run away from the door when they hear the dogs. So I thought, well, if I get him out of the way, that's one problem to avoid. But anyway, this little guy comes in, he disconnected the old machine, and then him and his mate brought the new one in. They connected it up. Within 10-15 minutes they'd gone. Lovely, polite, friendly people. So if you are looking for a really good service and you're buying that sort of thing, I would say AO are absolutely fabulous. Obviously if you're in the UK. If you're not in the UK, that could be a bit of a problem. Okay, so one of the things you might want to watch out for when you're putting your topper or your frame on is that you don't cover the little hole where you put in your ribbon, because that could make it difficult. So I won't be undoing this again. Okay, so let's just tie that back up again, because I'm going to put, now I've got those on there, I can work out where I want them to go. Like I said, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and use more of those toppers, you know, like you've got, or even the ones at the book, there are more relaxing toppers, little old ladies relaxing or doing fun things. So I think I'm going to put birthday wishes on the bottom. Now you can't really see that, but I'll put that on the bottom there. So let's throw those all over myself. No, let's use some of these up. So I've been doing more of the dotty design cards, and the decoupage and that is quite small, a bit like the Hunkydory decollage. So I have to cut these pads up quite a lot for that. But it has cleared quite a lot of the room. It's cleared half of all my dotty design stuff has gone from an A4 box to a half size box now. So I feel like I'm achieving something in getting those done, and they've been there years. Do you know what I mean? It's like Mum used to buy me in for Christmas because I loved them so much. Okay, so these ones, I think again I'm going to use, because like I say, you're not going to, this is not the kind of thing that you're going to put in an envelope, because it's a weird shape, you'd never get one to fit it, I don't think. So I'm going to go for 1mm foam pads all the way around. Let's use that a little bit rather than chopping. Another one. So we can turn this around, and I think let's pop that at the bottom. And if you've got any sort of nice little brads, anything like that, teacups, enamel sort of stickers of teacups, anything like that, they would look pretty cool on this tea time themed one. So I'm going to pop her flush in the middle there, and then this You're Terrific. This makes me think of dinosaurs, T-Rex. And let's use another one of these up. Yeah, I think that will do. And I'll pop this one in the same position. And we just need to go to town with some gems. So this video is going to be a little longer, so apologies about that. But it is quite a statement card. And I'm going to do a quick 6x6 one. Okay, so we're going to pop that down the bottom there. Like I say, if you wanted to decorate that and you know, use your papers or whatever, you could do. It wouldn't be a problem. And then you could put the inserts on the inside if you wanted. Do we want to go with some sparkly ones? I think we might. Oh no, we've got some lovely, oh look at these, look, let's use these. Pink shimmer, brand new, not opened. I love opening brand new things. Okay, so we can go to town with these because we've got all of these sides. I think I'm going to use my knife. So let's start on the front, and I think I'm just going to put one little pink one in the corner down here, and one little pink one. I've gone for the medium one. Oops, at the top. Should I put one in the corner down there, match it up? Seems like I should. Okay, and then for this one, because we've got that bigger space, let's go and actually no, let's not go with that one yet. There we go, stay there. Let's go with the big one. And then two, one wants to behave itself, medium ones in that corner and there. Can't really see that one against there. And then I think what I'm going to do is go 1, 2 and 1, just to fill in that space there. Like I say, you could use your what did I say? You could use your other toppers and things if you wanted to. I'm being very tight. And then we'll do the same again. But instead of going at the top, I'm going to leave that little space to write. I'm going to go 1, 2 and 1 on that side. Okay, so there is that space in the middle to write. Probably not left as much space as I could have done. Probably would have been best to do it in the centre. But let me show you what we have. So we have one side there, which is looking pretty snazzy. And we've got that one there, which is, it's not boring. And then you've got your insert size there as well. Where's that wandered? There we go. A little bit better. That one's not quite as straight on there. So that front side is the best. But what I will do is take photos of that. I'll take photos of all sides and put them on Pinterest and on Facebook as well. But I'm just going to get set up for a quick second card. Okay, so for a super quick second card, 6x6 card length, so it's 12x6 just folded in half. Got a gold Miri mat, 6x6, and I'm going to take 2 notches off, oops, 2 of the sides, like so. Obviously you can save those if you want them for borders. I've got quite a few, so that's going to go on there quite nicely. And then I'm going to cut this down to 5 3/4. I'm using that big square one. I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut across there. And then I'm going to move that up to 5 3/4. And I might just go, so 5 3/4. I'm just going to go 2 notches. And then this now is 4 1/2. So half of 4 1/2 is 2 1/4. There we go. So what I want to do is I want this pink to go through the middle, so just to draw the eye in. So what I'm going to do is just reassemble my card like so. This is a thing, you can do it any way you like. Don't think you are limited by the way the card comes. So I'm going to reassemble it, and then I'm going to have my little lady pointing to the left, pointing to the right, and dance. Isn't that a song? Something like that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this on. If you want any ribbon, you could hide these joins with ribbon. Because I've gone that extra millimetre, this pink should overhang it quite a little bit. Actually, let's turn that round. So all I'm going to do is pop that in, so I've got an equal amount at the bottom and sides of this pink, polka dot pink. Again, if you didn't want to cut this up like this, what you could do is one of the Duo design pads is polka dots. I think it's polka dots and Radiant Roses, maybe. I'll check for you in a second because it's behind me. It's one of my favourite pads. Yeah, nearly right. Radiant Roses and Delightful Dots. So you've got, I mean, you could go with a deeper pink if you wanted. Change those dots up. Beautiful pad. Might have used all the pink out of it, the really pink pinks. I think that's the one there, but yeah, it's a lovely pad. I bought when I bought last time, I bought the paisley one, which is also beautiful, super useful. Okay, so now this is going to come across there. I'm going to hide those joins. So I'm just going to use my normal glues. Just make sure I put a little bit of that tacky on in the middle. And you could have this going anywhere, you know, don't think you have to do it in half. If you wanted to do 3/4 the way up, you know, just however, you know, whatever your eye likes. That we all like different things. I just thought it might be quite cool to do a halfy or a half and half. Hoping that's not moving under my fingers, but we should have time to pop it back if it is. Like I say, you could hide it, those joins with ribbon. Yeah, it has moved a little bit, but we'll just put this on and then we'll get that back where it needs to go. You could even raise this up with foam pads if you wanted to. That was not my plan today. Okay, so more 1mm foam pads. Actually, just gonna take those pips off. And these ones are a little bit easier to see if you turn them over, I'm finding. So I need to put a note to myself to remember that. Okay, that one. That's going to be a little bit too big. And I'm just going to put a nice amount on here. The pads don't have to be that thick, but I just like to have a bit of support all the way around, because that's also going to help keep those two layers in place while they're drying. Although they should be dry by the time this goes on. But lately has not been the case. Let's use some of these. Like I said, they don't have to be huge, just have to make contact. Oops. This is my version of tidying up at the moment, using things that I have on the side. Again, these are all 1mm foam pads. These are, that was a little bit too small, that would be a bit silly. These are from Fix-It. And I have got to about 3/4 through my first roll of these. That's how long they've lasted. And I do make a lot of cards with, because I don't only make the cards that you see on video, I am also making cards. Well, if you look at my Pinterest, you'll see that there's quite a few cards that use the pads. I don't make very many flat cards, to be honest. I do like a bit of dimension. Why am I putting those in there and mixing that up? That seems a little bit silly. Let's pop that up there. That might be more sensible. Yeah, so there's Black Friday sales on at the moment, isn't there? I'm just so tempted by the adorable scorables, really good prices, and some of the edge to edge foiling. But I don't actually, I've got like loads of adorable scorable, I'm not even going to lie, because quite often I get the Christmas multi-buy that comes with a load of cardstock, and there's a couple of others, and the only thing cardstock I really do need, or I am a lower on, is the Matastic ones, mainly because that's more of a recent thing, whereas the adorable scorable, I did have an A4 box of it before I started foiling with it, but it's beautiful to foil with, I'll be honest. Okay, so I'm just going to drop that in there. Have I got any 2mm foam pads? Actually, I've got some old Crafter's Companion ones. Are these? Yeah, they're slightly higher, so they must be 2s. So let's just use these up. Now these probably won't be as sticky because these have been around a while. and I find that they tend to lose a bit of tackiness after time if they're left in open on the side. Not had the same problem with the Affix-It ones, probably because they're in a packet on the roll until I take a few out, and then it's being used up all the time. So but every brand, from the cheapest to the most expensive, but then again, to be fair, the temperature changes. It does vary a lot in whichever rooms they've been in, so it could be just that I'm abusing them. So I'm paying the price of these because I can't, backs are not coming off easy. And the sentiment for this one, just having a look at the sheet there, is keep enjoying life in the fast lane. So that could be for anything. That could be for somebody who's just got back on their feet after an illness, or maybe someone who's had problems with their mobility and has just got a scooter and is finding their feet again, even though they're not on their feet, they're on a scooter. Right, where are you? Come back here, frame. Let's borrow it. No, you're not there. That's this one. There we go. Pop you in. And then we're going to know where you go, Mrs. She says I go here. I'm just going to ease that one out carefully because you might need that at some point for a little book or something. Good press down. Right, so we've got our keep enjoying life in the fast lane with these beautiful flowers as well. They tie in quite nicely. I think we want to go, kind of feeling like it should go at the top. So let's grab, I'll have to grab one of these. And what I want to do is just get this onto that far side, and then I should be able to do a little bit at the top. How's that feeling? Yeah, much better. Okay, so I said this was going to be a quick one, so it is quite almost done, just a couple of gems. The longest one is going to be that first card. A bit like the last video, wasn't it? In the last video, the first card was the longest. There we go. Oops, you're on the wonk, you're a little bit. There we go. It's better. Right, let's bring these back. And I'm going to go, what should we go? Should we go 3, 2, 1? Oops. 3, 2, and 1. You could do coming back a bit, you've got a bit lost, haven't you? There you go. Let's go with you. And we'll go 3, 2. Give me my knife back. And 1. There we go. That's a bit of a different arrangement with the gems for me. There we go. But that is going to be card number 2 finished. So let me just move those out of the way. So obviously it just needs the insert inside. But like I say, quite a few occasions, even not just birthdays, that could be applicable to. So that's card number 2. And then we've got card number 1, difficult to show you. Can't put it that way because it will squash it, so we'll just put it that way. Like I say, it is quite tall actually. Let me just measure how tall that is because it's above 6. It's about 8 inches tall by 6.5 wide, if you want the measurements on that one for a box or anything. But that is my 2 little offerings for today. We'll carry on making cards with this behind the scenes. They will go up on my Pinterest either tonight with these or tomorrow. I've got some that I did from the last kit yesterday to go up today as well. I'm going to be working on that project for next time, so that will be on Wednesday, and then after that I think I might like to have a little play with the Picture Perfect book, because there are a lot of different images in there that are really cool as well. So I want to have a really good play with this kit. But that's it for today, so thank you so much for watching. Sorry it's been such a long one. Hopefully you've enjoyed the cards, but I'll see you next time, and until then, happy crafting. Bye.